Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome aboard if it's your first time on the channel. My name is Ash and I'm your host. So today we're going to be discussing my top 12 fragrances from Dua Fragrances. With that being said, these are all niche inspirations, so fragrances that are inspired by other niche fragrances out there. So I won't go into too much depth on each fragrance just because the information is already out there and I'm not here to really market or sell these kind of fragrances. Of course, I'm not sponsored by any company. Everything I have here I paid for out of my own pocket, so nothing was given to me for free. Of course, besides samples that happen sometimes with orders. So the way I put this list in order is basically by my least to most favorite to wear. I didn't necessarily put them in order by how accurate they are as far as compared to the original interpretations or the original formulas of these fragrances. Obviously, I did not put them in order by popularity. It's literally just based on what I like. Yeah, so let's start off with our number 12 fragrance here, and this one is going to be Dua's Suede. It's inspired by Guerlain's Cuir Beluga. This is actually a really nice fragrance. I really like it. I've had a little bit of testing with it. As you can see, a lot of these are pretty full. I don't wear them all the time, but it is a leathery fragrance. It's a smooth, soft leather fragrance. It's not a very strong, pungent leather, but this one does have some potency to it. I have not tried the original, so I couldn't really tell you how close it is to the original formula. Number 11 is going to be King of Judea Attar. And this one is actually inspired by the original formulation of Parfums de Marly Herod. I actually really like this one. However, I don't really wear it very much, so maybe if I wear it a little more, I might be a little higher on the list. So that doesn't mean it's a bad fragrance or anything, it just didn't really make it very high up on the list for me. Now, I have tried a sample of Herod, but I have not tried the original formulation from, I believe it's like 2011 or something. I don't remember the exact year. Again, you can check the website, the Dua Fragrances website, and they do have some information on all these little things here that I'm missing out, as well as notes, etc. It does smell like Herod. I would say that it's pretty close, probably between the 90 to 95% range compared to the Herod that I've tried. Number 10, I have here Matrix. This is inspired by Serjoff Neo. And this one I really like as well. It's great for the summer. So to be honest, I have not tried Serjoff Neo. It smells very high quality. You know, you do get the strong bergamot note in here. And it has a pretty good lasting power. Great for the summer. So number 9 here is another Serjoff inspired fragrance. It's called Zeus Elixir. And this one, I actually really like this. Especially for really hot days. You can go a bit heavy on the trigger with this one. It does have a pretty decent lasting power. It's again along the lines of a fresh kind of summery citrusy fragrance, but a bit different than other ones that you've smelled. It does have a notable masculine character to it, at least to my nose. I would still say that it's unisex. Ladies, feel free to wear this. It really doesn't matter, wear whatever you want. But for some reason I really like this one. It's got me some really nice compliments too. I have not tried the original Serjoff Kobe, so that's the one that this is inspired by. So I couldn't really tell you how close it is to that one, but I can tell you that it's really nice. At first when I tried it, I wasn't a big fan of it, but I tried it a few more times and actually really grew on me. I ended up getting 2 bottles of that one, so go figure. Number 8, this is a Rouge à Dove inspired fragrance, and I have not tested the original of this, but I believe this was a limited edition fragrance, so I don't know if you can still get it from their website. They may still have it. If this sounds like something that may interest you, you might want to check it out, but it's called Exotic 3. But this one here is inspired by Parfums de la Nuit 3. And this is actually a really nice fragrance. It's a bit hard for me to describe, but I would say that it's kind of a leathery oud style fragrance with quite a bit of depth and complexity. I would probably say there's a prominent rose, but I couldn't really tell you a whole lot more about it. I have worn it a few times and I really like it. It's really great for cooler weather. Now, number 7 on the list here is For some odd reason, they list it as an original creation, which I think they do that with some other fragrances. Maybe it happens by mistake. I could not tell you, but a lot of people that have tried this and the people who've left reviews mention that this is very close to Nasomato Pardon or Pardon, and this is called Wooden Cognac. So I would say that it's pretty close to Pardon. I have a sample of Pardon, and I would say probably in like the 90 to 95% range. I mean, close enough. I know that there's like a whole debate with clone fragrances or inspired fragrances, and I'm not going to get into that. I know that some people feel very strongly against these kind of fragrances. I mean, I can completely understand why. It has helped me to explore a lot more fragrances and save quite a bit of money in the process of doing so. Yeah, again, I'm not going to get into that too much. But I can tell you that this one is really nice and very strong. The nice thing about inspired fragrances too is that they do make some fragrances that are completely discontinued or that you cannot get at all. So that could definitely be seen as a bonus. Like this one, for example. So at number 6 here, I have Succulent. This is inspired by Slumber House's Pear and Olive. And this one I really enjoy as well for warmer weather. It's a bit of a gourmand style, you know, fresh fruity fragrance. A little bit more on the fruity side, but it does have like this creamy kind of butteriness to it. But that one, if you can find it, is definitely worth trying. Moving along here, number 5. So this one, I have not tried the original formula, so I could not tell you how accurate it is compared to that one. But this is #Blist. This one is inspired by Inicio Parfums Blessed Baraka, and this one I really enjoy wearing, especially when the weather cools down a bit. This could be a really nice signature scent, and it's gotten me some pretty nice compliments as well. It's a little hard to describe, but for me, I get kind of like a boozy, creamy kind of fragrance, if that makes any sense. Number 4 on the list here is another Serjoff inspired fragrance. This is the last one on here, inspired by Serjoff, and this one's called Admiral. And Admiral is an inspiration of 40 knots. As you see, I've had a little bit more use with this one, and I would say that they're really close in comparison. Probably close to that 95% range. I mean, this one they did it really well. I do have to say that. And this is this is a bit of an attention grabber right here. It's a pretty powerful fragrance. Very much a nice signature fragrance. You can wear it all year round, though I do think that it shines pretty well in the warm weather. It's a little hard to describe. I want to say it's kind of like a fresh, slightly salty aquatic fragrance mixed with a little bit of the original Jean-Paul Gaultier vibe, the Le Malt, which I really like. That's like one of my original favorite fragrances. Some people may not get that same kind of association that I get. To me, at least, it does have the kind of creaminess a little bit that like Le Malt has, but just overall, really good pick. Now, number 3 on the list is a fragrance inspired by a Maison Francis Kurkdjian. That fragrance is called Oud Satin Mood. This is called Satin Midnight Attar. And this one here, I have tested the original version of it. I would say that the similarity is probably closer to about 88 to 90%. That's just my guess. The general vibe of the fragrance is very close to the original. However, you can tell a difference in like the quality and the characters is a little bit different, just a little bit. But overall, you do get that kind of candy sweet, sugary oud scent, and of course the rose. But this just happens to be one of my favorites to wear from this brand. So number 2 is a relatively newer fragrance from Dua Fragrances, and honestly I feel a little guilty to even own this because this is kind of like a cheat code compared to the original fragrance that it's inspired by. Now the original fragrance comes from the house Fragrance du Bois. That brand does sell pretty expensive fragrances. There are some that are around the 200 range, but they do go up from there for like the 50 ml bottles and 100 ml bottles. So they do have some 15 ml bottles that you can find on their original website. But this one here is inspired by Oud Blue Intense. So another oud fragrance. This is Oud Intense Blue, and I really like this one. But the catch is that this is probably one of the least closest inspirations from everything I have here. I would say that this is probably closer to about 85% to the original. Now the vibe is really close, and in the air there's a lot of similarity, but when you get up close, which most people don't really get super close to the fragrance like that, you know, when they first smell it, you're gonna pick up the differences, and the differences mostly is gonna be in the quality. But overall, man, this one, it just smells really nice. I actually ended up getting 3 of these because of how much I like that fragrance. The original is actually like my 3rd favorite fragrance ever, and I do own a bottle of it. So what I get from this is kind of a fresh, aquatic, floral oud fragrance, a little sweet. The oud is kind of smooth. It's rather smooth in this fragrance. It's not too pungent or anything like that. It's a very smooth oud. Honestly, I mean, this is a good fragrance, but if you're looking for that original quality, go with the original. Although it's much more expensive, I think it's definitely worth the price for the original because of the sheer quality of it. So my favorite fragrance here from Dua Fragrances is a fragrance inspired by Kilian, the brand, and the fragrance is called Single Malt. The inspiration here is called Spiritus Dei. This one here is a really powerful boozy fragrance, and I have not smelled the original, so I could not tell you how close it is to that one. And what I can tell you is that I enjoyed this so much, I ended up getting 2 more bottles of this. So this is actually one of my unused bottles. I have another one that I am using, and it's about 2/3 left or a little less. So I used about 1/3 of it. To me, it's just a really intoxicating, very sexy fragrance. And it is definitely a powerful fragrance, so you definitely can overspray this fragrance. Easy on the trigger, alright? So my number 1 from Dua Fragrances is Spiritus Dei. Now, if you have any questions or anything, do not hesitate to leave them in the comment box for me. Don't forget to like the video if you like the video. Feel free to subscribe to the channel. It would really help to support the channel. And if you know anyone who's looking to get into Dua Fragrances, definitely feel free to share this video as well as any of my other videos. Again, I really appreciate your time, and thank you so much for everybody for watching. Alright, I'll see you guys soon with another video. Take care.